Hello all, hello patrons, and welcome to your reading. So today I am doing a reading on advice on your specific situation. So whatever situation, it can be absolutely anything. It doesn't have to be anything specific. As in there's no theme to this reading. So it can be a work situation, it can be a relationship situation, it can be something very, very niche and unique, whatever it is. We're just getting some advice on this specific situation. So we have 4 groups. We have group 1, group 2, group 3, and group 4. So you can pause the video now if you need a little bit more time to decide which group is pulling to you, depending on your situation. Maybe hold your situation in your head and see which group is calling to you, and I'm going to get started. So we're starting with group number 1. These ones can go over here. Okay, group 1, let's see your specific situation. So you've got a tea leaf card here. So for you, you got the fair woman. Dealings or a relationship with a woman with blonde, gray, or white hair. So a woman of fair complexion might be important. I'm gonna look at these cards kind of in the context of what the tarot says. So we're looking for advice for this specific situation. So let's have a look. Group 1, advice for their specific situation. We've got the 4 of Pentacles. We've got 7 of Swords. It did come out in reverse, but for some reason I feel like I want to take it upright. I've been trying to be a bit more intuitive when I want to take cards upright or in reverse a little bit more. Okay. 8 of Cups, and we've got 3 of Swords. I'm getting, especially if this is to do with this person, maybe you're asking about the specific person. I will say that the best thing is to stop holding on to this situation, to stop trying to make it work. Your best bet within this situation is to walk away. And walk away, especially if there's a sense of like cutting your losses, like maybe you feel like you lost something in this particular situation, especially if you lost a piece, like your peace of mind, or you lost a certain sense of yourself, especially if it's with another person. Your best bet is to walk away from this person or this situation. I feel like your advice here is to understand that you are not supposed to have all the details or all the pieces of information. And I'm kind of hearing you're smarter than that as well. Again, this is not something that's calling you out in any sort of way or anything like that. But I am hearing you're smarter than that. You're smarter than that. So maybe you're smarter than sticking around, hoping that this situation if you're not going through a difficult patch with whatever this is, if you're not in a situation where things are difficult, I doubt this is a reading for you. I'm kind of getting that this is something that feels quite sticky. It feels quite difficult. It feels like you're not getting all the information. It feels like you're not being given clear instructions is what I heard. For example, if this is a job where you're having to do a lot of second guessing and kind of like, I don't actually really know what my boss wants from me. I don't actually really know what like is required of me. You're kind of being advised to cut your losses and move forward. There's something about this situation that is restricting you and stifling you. Maybe you've grown to be like I don't want to say too evolved for this situation, but maybe it's true, right? So there is a sense of you're kind of ready to expand beyond whatever this is. And there's really nothing there for you. There's a very barren feeling that I'm getting with this specific situation. There's something quite barren. I'm just not picking up on a lot of growth that you can actually achieve within the context of this situation anymore. So let's get a little bit more. Honestly, I kind of feel like you might even be bored with the situation as a whole. I just dropped a card as well. I'm just going to pick it up. You're ready for something new. I think for a lot of you, this is a work situation. This is like a career move. There's something new coming in for you. I feel like your guides are saying there's a sense that you even know this. Like, it kind of feels like you know that there's something new on its way to you, that there's something coming into your reality that is going to be very solid, very new. There's this sense of safety. Like, I feel like there's an illusion of being unsafe, or there's an illusion of not being able to walk away because you won't get something good. But in reality, I feel like for the most part, you know that you'll be okay if you walk away from this situation. Whatever the situation might be. It's almost like you're being plunged straight into happiness. You're being plunged straight into something very clear, very obvious, very open. If you're feeling sad or miserable, I'm not getting sad or miserable necessarily. What I'm getting is more like constricted. Like you're not able to, you know, like when someone, it's like when you try to fit into clothes that you used to wear, but because you've grown a size bigger or something like that, but you're still trying to make old clothes fit. And it's like you would feel much better and you would look much better, and if you just got clothes that fit you rather than trying to fit into the old clothes. That's what this energy is showing me here, this constriction. There's a lot of like mental gymnastics, I want to say, associated with this situation that are not going to get you anywhere. It's like you've learned everything you needed to learn from this situation. Now it's time to go and execute it somewhere else. And I don't think you'll even be surprised. There's just this feeling that new opportunities are already kind of knocking on your door, and you've been maybe ignoring them because you're still trying to fit in. Or maybe some of you are not trying to fit in and you're like, no, I am ready to move on. I am ready to move on from this specific situation. And you're right. You're right. I think maybe there's been opportunities that you missed in the past. Like you almost missed in the past because you kept trying to contort yourself into this situation and fit in and feel like you're a part of something here, but which you're not. You're not a part of this anymore. And it's a good thing because you've grown out of it. You've matured in some sort of way. Maybe this fair woman is you. Maybe this is your energy. Maybe it's time to be fair to yourself. That could be another thing that I'm picking up on. Like maybe it's time for you to be fair to yourself and say, well, I've done as much as I can here. There's literally nothing else for me to achieve here. I think especially if this is not like a relationship, but this is like a job or an opportunity or a project that you've worked on, maybe it's time to realize that this project is just not going to take you any further. It's not going to take you any further than where you've gone so far already. And it's time to look for new opportunities, things that are going to make you kind of like, and it kind of feels like it's the obvious thing to do. I'm just going to pull an astrology card as well. Pisces. Maybe around Pisces season was when you realized, like, I'm not even enjoying this anymore. This is not even something that's for me anymore. But Piscean energy also makes me feel like Piscean energy is very boundless. It's like your imagination is your limit. So whatever you can imagine, why not, right? So maybe there's a need to tap into your imagination from a like wider perspective. Maybe there's a need to look at things like kind of like making the impossible possible, but it's not impossible. Like that's what I'm getting. If you're gonna choose to stay within this situation, just know that there might be this risk of keeping yourself quite small. Like you don't want to keep yourself small. I think intuitively you've known that it's time to move on from this situation for quite some time now, especially if it involves this woman, but maybe again, like maybe it's time for you to be fair to yourself. So yeah, this situation, the advice here is to move on from it, or to move on from quite a big component of it, something quite big. And there's this sense of like dream bigger, dream more abundant. And also like meditate on it. If you're kind of confused on how to move on, I feel like a lot of the answers can come to you subconsciously. There are details hidden from you on like how you can move on, but I think the path is becoming increasingly clear. It's not something that's not gonna that's gonna be a mystery or in the fog for you for a very long time. It kind of feels like something that will become increasingly clear as you start moving on from this situation. So maybe it's a matter of taking one little step at a time, and as you're taking a step, the path just starts illuminating, and it's like you're starting to see, and it becomes more obvious, more clear the more you move forward. So yeah, that's what I'm getting for this group. So that is the advice for your situation. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for sticking with me even in the months of limited content. Like I said before, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate the support despite the limited content, but I've really been needing this break. So I really, really appreciate everyone who sticks around. Thank you. So let's keep moving on. We're going to move on to group number 2. So group number 2, you got Lion, time to act. I mean, that's already quite an interesting prompt. Time to act. So that could be a general advice for your situation. It's maybe time to act. Maybe you've done enough thinking, enough musing, enough observing, pausing, and it's time to actually take the next step forward. So let's get a little bit more information for group 2. What is the advice for group 2 in their specific situation? Wow, it is indeed time to act. It's time to plan. It's time to strategize. It's time to connect to that planner energy within yourself. It's time to take charge. It's time to recognize that you're the one that has to build something here. I'm kind of getting it's time to build. So maybe in this situation, it's really important that you start laying down building blocks, but you're also, because I'm seeing someone, when there's like war or battle in a movie or whatever, and all these people are standing around planning the battle with like a big battlefield, like a little miniature battlefield thing, and they're all like pointing, and it's like, oh, these people should be here and these people should be here. There's almost this need to plan and strategize in that kind of way, like this is going to be here and this is going to be here and this is the way this is going to look and this is the way this is going to look. So there's also a need to become a little bit more practical rather than like fluid and lucid. There's a need to start constricting certain energies. So, that kind of phase where you're imagining things, like, for example, you're working on a project and you're in the phase of like, just this kind of like ethereal, imaginative state where you're just imagining things and you're like allowing them to form in your imagination, and it's all very fluid. It's time to start kind of being like, okay, so what is actually possible? What is actually realistic? How can I move forward? It doesn't mean you have to do everything at the same time, but there is this sense of planning. It's time to act and it's time to plan. That is what your guides are saying to you here. Wow. One thing that your guides want you to know with the 6 of Cups and the 9 of Cups for this situation is that honestly, you have a very good chance at achieving whatever, because I feel like there's a sense of achievement with the Emperor. I feel like you have a really, really great chance to achieve something here, to actually like get to the point of achieving a goal or getting something done. I feel like you're really going to get something done, especially based on your past experiences. If this is something that you've tried to make happen before, if this is something that you've tried to get done before and it didn't work, that was not a bad thing. It actually has given you more fuel to actually get it done. So it kind of feels like you've learned from your past mistakes. There's a lot of emotional satisfaction that is indicated in these cards. So it's not just about this being like this cold hard planner. There's something about your energy when it comes to this situation that whatever you put your mind to, you will be able to achieve. You've a lot of energy supporting you, and I'm even getting like past versions of you are really, really cheering you on and supporting you in going after this. So I kind of feel like, that phrase, the stars have aligned for this to happen. It feels like right now, as you're watching this reading, whatever situation you're asking about, as you're watching this reading, the stars have aligned for you to act, for you to move forward. It absolutely, wow. You honestly should be so brave and so confident that this is going to work work out. Like, I just get the most insane feeling of this is going to work out. The stars have aligned. Everything has aligned for this to work out for you. Like, there's nothing that you really need to be worried about other than actually taking the steps, actually doing the planning. It's all going to work out. You're in a really, really good position right now. Like, whatever the conditions are, whatever is the energy around you, the people you have around you, the skills that you've built up, the experiences that you've had, the emotional stability, or even if you feel like you're not super emotionally stable, excuse me, confirmation burp. The balance of everything that you have experienced in the last while, even over the past few years, I'm kind of getting like, I don't know, 4 to 9 years, I'm guessing, like 4 to 9 years. I don't know if that's a significant period, 4 to 9 years. It's all culminating in this moment for you to start acting on whatever this is. It's quite important is what I'm getting. It's really time to act on this. It's time to go for it is basically what I'm getting. So the best advice that your guides can give you is be confident, be brave, and go for it. And this fact that we've got the strength card and this lion energy, like Leo energy, fire energy in general is quite strong here, even though and then we've got this like cuppy energy, quite Cancerian energy. I mean, I think this is Pisces. But the biggest thing here is this fiery bravery, fiery courage, and this, you really need to just execute this from a point of view of willpower and this almost like blind confidence of this is gonna work. This like almost blind faith, and it's not blind because I think you've worked towards this for quite some time. A lot has gone into it, especially emotionally. I feel like you've done a lot of emotional work. There's something about like doing a lot of work on your inner child. You've done a lot of work on your ego, your shadow. Everything has brought you to this point where it's time to act on this. No way. We've got the strength card again. Just be brave. Be brave. And also keep executing the patience that you've cultivated within yourself, because it feels like maybe we've got that 4 to 9 year period. Maybe your patience has grown immensely in the last while. And it's almost like, don't lose that sense of patience. Keep holding on to that sense of perseverance and patience, but at the same time have that willpower of like, I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get this done. This is gonna get done. So if this is a project you haven't started yet, or if this is a relationship that you're kind of like, should I go into it? I don't know if I should go for this relationship. Go for it. I feel like there's a lot to be gained emotionally, especially in fulfilling your emotional needs, and maybe even fulfilling the emotional needs of your inner child. That is like, it's an incredible energy that I'm getting. I'm definitely getting inner child energy, especially if you're a fire sign or you have a lot of fire in your chart. This should be quite a big confirmation. Like, your inner child is ready to, it's almost like maybe it's a childhood dream of yours. For some of you, I think this is a childhood dream and you're ready to execute it. And you've gone through everything. Everything has led you to this moment to execute it. Your advice in this situation, I feel like, again, they're kind of showing me people are important. The people that you have been meeting, especially recently, are going to help you. I feel like there's a childhood dream, or it's like an offshoot of a childhood dream. Maybe something you wanted as a child, it matured in some sort of sense to being something else. Queen of Pentacles, and we've got the 7 of Swords. You don't have to lie and pretend like you don't want this just because this is a childhood dream. If that resonates for someone, I feel like this is going to resonate for someone. If there's a childhood dream that you've had, and you know you've had it, and you know that you held on to it, but maybe along your adult life, you've lost that ability to actually sit with it and be like, no, this is still a dream of mine. You've lost it, and you said to yourself, no, who do I think I am? Like, no, this is not. I think you've come to a point where you're like, I can actually do this. I can do this, and I don't need to lie and pretend like this is not what I want anymore. I can say that's exactly what I want. That's exactly what I'm interested in doing. Yeah, I just feel like something, even if this is not to do with career, like maybe as a child you really wanted to have a family and you really wanted to be like a parent and take care of, you know, a family, and you wanted like a really nice partner who you'd be in love with, and it maybe was that idealistic idea, but it's like it kind of, what they're showing me is like this idealistic idea that you had as a child. You've gone through life experiences that made you go, oh my god, that's never going to be fucking possible for me. So maybe it's like, oh, you wanted to be, for some of you, time to act, maybe you wanted to be an actor or an actress or whatever. And you said to yourself, like, no, who the fuck do I think I am? Like, that's not gonna happen for me. Now you're coming to a point where you're like, actually, you know what? I could do it. Now I know that there's nuances. I understand that there's certain things that are not gonna come to me easily. Like there's work involved, there's effort involved, but I know I can do it. And I can fulfill this childhood dream of mine. I can fulfill this childhood dream of mine. But it's going to be, and I don't need to lie to myself and say to myself, oh, but I'm smart enough also to know that there's a lot of work involved. I need to commit and I need to plan and strategize. And I feel like your advice, honestly, I love this spread. This is, the energy off of this is like, I'm fulfilling my childhood dream. Oh my god, I'm fulfilling my fucking childhood dream. I'm actually gonna fucking do it. And I think there are people around you who will help you. People will want, one thing that your guides really want you to know, there are people who will want to see you succeed in this dream. There will be people who will say, like, we want you to succeed. We want you to succeed in this dream. Like, if you see, I'm getting this specifically, and this is something, it's very interesting. I'm getting, if you see in your readings telling you people are jealous or people want to see you fail, there's more people wanting to see you succeed in this. Big message on that. Even if there are people who are jealous, even if there are people who will want to see you fail, there are more people who will want to see you succeed. A lot more. So, like, be wary of readings like that, if like that are telling you like, oh, there's people jealous of you. There's more people who want, and I really, really want you, like, I honestly want you to be so confident in that. Like, I feel it, like almost like in my heart and my solar plexus, I'm like, there's more people that want to see you succeed in this than there are people who want to see you fail. And I want you to really feel that, like, feel that energy from me. There are a lot of people who want to see you succeed. Because it's not even like, there's a lot of people that are just like well-wishers, but there's also people who see that you succeeding, and not in this sneaky, like, slimy way, will benefit them, but that they'll be inspired by you. That will give them drive to go after their dreams. It'll give them drive to work towards things that they maybe even wanted to do as a child and never allowed themselves to do. There are people relying on you to succeed in this so that they can apply the same energy and go after their, like, long-term dreams, childhood dreams, things like that. There are more people who want you to succeed in this than there are not, okay? I'm gonna leave that reading here. I think that's all I need to say on this reading. That was a very, very cool reading. Time to act. It's time to go for it. Go for it. Do it. Do it. Whatever this is, do it. You are ready. You don't need to be scared anymore. You don't need to, like, worry. You're there. You're there. And especially if this is like a childhood dream, you're there, you're ready. Okay, let's keep moving along. We're moving on to group number 3. So group number 3, your advice for your situation. Great personal sorrow with teardrops. We'll see what that means. So that's group number 3. We'll see what that means. I'm hearing higher. You're hired? Maybe you're hired? Higher. Okay, I feel like something really disappointed you in this situation. Something really made you feel defeated. 7 of Swords has come out for every single group so far, but in different contexts. You felt kind of like you were lied to, or like I'm hearing, I feel like the universe is lying to me, or like something is, you feel very defeated and you're really upset about something. You feel like your power has been taken in some sort of way in this situation, is what I'm getting. One thing that I'm getting, there is an element of accepting defeat, like saying, okay, that didn't work. Fuck it. Or accepting, God, I really got tricked there. I got duped. I got lied to. There's a sense of don't try to make this into a situation where you go, oh, maybe they didn't mean to lie, or maybe, if you know in this situation that someone lied to you and you felt lied to, if you felt defeated by someone, if you felt like someone didn't really consider your feelings, if you feel like someone didn't consider your energy, your efforts, first advice is to just go, damn, they really duped me. They really, really fooled me. They had me fooled. You had me fooled, Mr. Spears. Death to all of them. Maybe there's even a need to just go, God, I feel like there may be a need to say this person is a fucking asshole for doing this to me, or something like that. Like, I'm just getting, don't try to make excuses for someone who's made you feel lied to, defeated, and like they didn't take care with your emotion, with your energy, with whatever it is that you went through. Just go, yeah, they fucked with me. And be like, and I fell for it. You know, there's this kind of need to almost go, God, like I fell for it like an idiot, but not in a shameful kind of way where you're shaming and judging yourself, but like just accepting that and knowing that that's okay. Like, it's okay that you got duped in some sort of way in this situation. That's your first piece of advice, because you can't move on without it. Like, it's like you won't be able to move on without saying that to yourself almost. I hope that makes sense. Three of Wands. The Lovers. There's a need to make a choice. I'm almost hearing choose to see them as an asshole. I feel like maybe you're making excuses for someone and you're like, no, they're a really nice person, really. Or like, this is a good person. They just fooled me. Oh, they just played with me. They just like, I feel like you're someone who doesn't like to accuse people of things. And I'm not saying you have to walk around. I feel like there's a person involved. It's not like you have to walk around saying this person, like they wronged me, they're the worst. But there's something like, it's really important that you, to yourself at least, go, they're a fucking dick. They lied to me, they scammed, they schemed. I'm making a choice to see them as a dickhead. And that's when things are going to start opening up for you in this situation. I really, if there's someone here that you're kind of like hoping, like maybe you're hoping that they're in, you know, if like someone makes you feel like shit, or they lie to you, or they do something shitty to you, and then you're kind of trying to convince yourself, oh, maybe they're not that bad, like, and you're hoping that they'll almost come back and rectify themselves, or they'll prove themselves to not be that. It's like, you know, what's that saying? It's like, believe what people show you. The first time, like, I'm kind of getting that. Like, don't hope that this person's gonna come in and show you something else. The Empress. I do feel like there's a need. I feel like as soon as you're able to go, this person is a dickhead, they lied to me, they cheated or something. Like, especially if this is someone who cheated, actually. If this is someone who cheated and lied or did, like, I'm just getting there's someone involved who was not in their integrity and treated you from a place of a lack of integrity. It's okay to say that they're a dickhead. It's okay to say that they're a cheat and a liar if they cheated and lied. Like, it's okay to say that and not try and make excuses for them and say, oh, but like, I'm sure they're a really nice person and I'm sure they like, oh, I'm sure they were affected by this. And maybe this was going on in their life. That's their business. As far as your story goes, is what I'm getting. Like, your guides are very like, that's their business. That's their business. As far as you're concerned, you're furious and sick and tired, and you feel cheated and defeated and duped, and you're fucking pissed off and you're sad and it hurts your feelings. And as far as you're concerned, in your story, in your pathway, you're standing in your power. There's a need to stand in your power with whoever this person is. I'm feeling like for this group, there's a person involved. If it's not a person, maybe it's a group of people, but I just feel like for a lot of you, this is going to be one particular person that you're asking about in this situation. Ace of Swords. Okay, I'm getting that this person might come back, but it's, or maybe they've already came back, and you're like, oh, are you making excuses for someone here? That's what your guides are kind of alluding to. And your advice in this situation is to cut the bullshit. Did they cheat? Did they lie? Is the answer yes? Well, then they cheated and they lied. Are you going to trust them again? The answer is, I'll give that up to you to decide. But the advice here is like, cut the bullshit. Whatever they say, like, I was in this kind of place in my life and it's been very hard. And like, I'm getting someone making excuses. Are you going to accept the excuses, or are you going to say, last time I checked, I don't have time for that. Last time I checked, I'm not interested. I kind of feel like you even know that you're not interested in hearing this person's excuses, but it's almost like, are you trying to be nurturing or compassionate to this person? The most nurturing and compassionate thing you can do with this person is to not accept their excuse, because it's going to teach them something. Mercury, the moon. The most loving, compassionate, nurturing thing you can do is to not accept this person's excuse. I think this person's really good with their words. I'm kind of getting South Node. This person needs to learn. This person has a really great talent they've acquired over lifetimes, is what I'm getting, of wiggling themselves out of situations through excuses and just being like, oh, well, like, this is, like, I feel like this is someone who's very good with their words. Very good. Very good. Like, they could commit the most heinous of crimes and then come in and be like, well, like, let me explain. And they will explain, and people are like, oh my gosh, you're so right. You didn't do anything wrong. And I think you're supposed to be the person who's like, well, that doesn't work for me, because in my reality, you really hurt my feelings. You fucked with me, and I am choosing to not allow you back into my life. I understand that doesn't make you a bad person. I'm not going to judge you as a person, or you're allowed to, by the way. But no. Strong boundaries are going to be important in this situation. Like, really important. Like, allow yourself to, like, why should this person just talk themselves out of this situation? Why should they? Do you ever do that? Like, I'm not asking you that. I feel like your guides are asking you that. Like, I'm actually getting the, like, do you ever make excuses for yourself when you do something slightly shitty? Do you make excuses for yourself? No. Well, that's what I'm getting from the cards. I'm getting that you don't. You take responsibility. You take accountability, and you say, that's fair enough. So I feel like there's someone here. You know what? I even get that this person might come back like crying or something like that. Maybe not for all of you, but there might be this element of this person crying and being like, oh, like, I didn't know what I was doing. It's like you knew what you were doing. I need to stay in my strength. Stay in your strength. Choose to stay in your strength and be very, like, you can be diplomatic with this energy, but like, stick to, you're allowed to see this person for the asshole that they acted themselves as with you. That definitely made sense in English. You're allowed to, because that's your experience of them. It's great if other people have another experience of them. That's not your experience of them. But it's up to you. But I feel like you're kind of naturally going in that direction. I feel like it'll be slightly tempting to make an excuse for this person. This person is really good. I'm even getting like this person doesn't even need to make excuses for themselves, because they do so much work energetically almost, that people make excuses for them. It's like, oh, well, they did that because of that. And it's like they didn't know what they were doing. And they're just like really helpless. And they just, this kind of has this energy of someone, you know, when people kind of play dumb or powerless and they're just like, I just don't know what I'm doing. I just don't know what I'm doing. I'm only learning. I'm only a baby. I'm just a baby. What is that? What is that video? It's like a sound. I'm just a baby. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, it's just kind of like that, but it doesn't have to be like that they look like that or sound like that, but it's like their energy. It's just like, I'm just a baby. I don't know what I'm doing. I cheated on you. I lied to you, but I'm just a baby. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, that's their energy. That's what I'm getting. And you're allowed to be like, no, you're an asshole. In my experience, you're an asshole. If other people are okay with like making excuses for you, super duper. And I think that's actually going to elevate you in a massive way. Like, I actually think you're going to end up attracting something better. Like, if this is like a romantic thing, again, like if this person cheated on you or lied to you or kind of like convoluted things and made you feel like really sad and lost, and now they're coming and they're just like, I'm just a baby. I don't know what I'm doing. You can be like, no, thank you. And actually, let me just then wait for someone who knows what they're doing if that's the case. So, this energy is like very powerful. This energy is just like so powerful. I like it. I like it. Because I think you're going to be like, okay, then if you don't know what you're doing, then I definitely don't want to get back into this, because I want someone who knows what they're doing. Just a baby. Anyway, that's all I have for you, group number 3. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for supporting me. Again, like I said to the other groups, I really appreciate you supporting me, even though this is limited content time. The times are rough, but I really need this break. Doing readings and like, oh my God, doing readings has been hard lately, especially because I've been extra careful with even like free will and how people treat readings. And I've been noticing this like uptake in readings like on TikTok and everything, and like I know that's been going on for a while, but I feel like it's even amplifying even more. And I'm just noticing like a lot of spiritual stuff is becoming very commercialized, and I don't know, I'm really changing my relationship with this stuff. So I'm kind of navigating it from that perspective. So but thank you for supporting me either way. Thank you. Okay, we're going to move on. Group 4. So, group 4. What do you have? Money! Coins. Money will be coming to you. Well. Okay, let's get into it. Money will be coming to you. So maybe if you're worried in this situation about like your finances, or kind of like, will I have enough money? Money will come. So maybe there's something like, don't worry, money will come. For this specific situation, there will be money to take care of things. There will be resources, maybe not just money, but maybe time. Resources that are not financial, they'll be flowing in as well. You can rest. I feel like whatever the situation is, you actually don't even need that to do that much. There's something about, if this is like a financial question or something that, you know, has finances involved, and you think like, what more can I do to get more money or generate more revenue? There's not that much that you need to do. The moon, you need rest. This is huge rest energy. Sleep. What do you do about this situation? Sleep. Please sleep. Please rest. Take a fucking nap, girl or boy or person. Take a nap. Take a nap. The Hierophant. I feel like if you rest, you'll actually get a lot of messages on this subconscious sort of level. You will get more productivity from rest than you will from action in this specific situation right now. Your advice is to really love on yourself right now. Really love on yourself. And that loving is through rest. I'm getting like, you know, when someone's really stressed and someone comes in and goes, hey, just, you know what, you take a nap, I'm going to take care of it. You take a nap, I'm going to like wash the dishes. Sorry, confirmation burp. You may need to, there are people around you, I'm willing to bet group 4, that have offered to help with chores, and maybe you've been feeling guilty. Like maybe there's someone that was like, let me plan this for you. Let me do this for you. I have enough energy. And you're like, no, like, no. Or like someone's like, let me take the kids to school, or let me take care of this for you. And you're like, no, because you take them up on it and rest. If you can take time off to rest. Like, working or actively going for something right now, that is not your vibe. You need plenty of naps. You need plenty of rest, plenty of time off. That's what's important right now. You need to get into your dream world, imagine things, visualization exercises can be really helpful to this situation right now. So like more imagining positive outcomes, imagining that everything goes right, imagining that you're filled with love, that you are surrounded by love. 5 of Cups. It's like you're worried that you need to release control in this situation. It's like you're worried if you're not in control that things are going to start falling apart. But there are certain things that need to fall apart, but they're the things that actually need to fall apart. I just feel like there's a lot of people willing to help you around you. I feel like especially family members, like maybe there's family members that are like, oh, can I get you anything? Can I bring you anything? Can I, take care of this for you? Can I take your kids? Like, it's like maybe someone's like, can I take your kids, or can I take your kid for, a day so that you can rest, you can do whatever you want? And you're like, no. Yeah, you're like resisting it. You're saying no. Stop saying no to help and to when people are trying to provide space for you to rest. Accept rest into your life right now. With this specific situation, doing nothing is going to help you more than doing something. That's a big message that I'm getting here. I'm getting back into your spiritual. If you've been neglecting your spiritual practices in a way that is very like consistent. So if you're someone who used to have like rituals in place, if you're someone who used to have like, you used to journal, like every Friday you sat down and you journaled, let's say. Every Wednesday you meditated. You used to do that. Like these like practices that you had, or you used to get out in nature regularly. Routinely you got out into nature. Routinely you did this. This was your spiritual kind of tradition, ritual. And you've dropped the ball on that. But the thing is, it's not like you have to think about it as like as a chore. It's more like that you're supposed to do so little right now. You're supposed to rest so much that you feel naturally pulled to do those things again. It's like, oh, I'm not doing anything right now, and I'm like feeling a little bit bored. Let me go meditate. Let me go journal. Let me go visualize. Let me do these like beautiful things I used to do. That's why you need space for the, like, you almost like, it's almost important that you have nothing to do right now. When it comes to this situation, like, I don't know, but I feel like in general for this group, but especially when it comes to this situation, spending time with family, like from a leisurely perspective. If you have kids, spending time with your kids, not in a way that is like, oh, I'm going to be teaching them something today, or we're going to do this, we're going to do these exercises. I'm just hanging out with my kids. For some reason, kids are coming through a lot for this group, so I wonder if some people who pick this group have kids. Nothing. What's your advice for this situation? Do nothing. Rest. Take the offers of let me take this chore off of your hands. Let me take this task off of your hands. Virgo. It's like you keep trying to do, you're like a busy bee that needs to rest. Accept help, because Virgo is help. Accept help. What do you need to do in this situation? Accept help. No matter how uncomfortable it feels, to accept it. Especially if the help feels uncomfortable to accept it. That is actually when every time you feel that sense of discomfort, like, I feel uncomfortable taking that bit of help, that's when that's when it's the most important time to take it. That's when it actually is super important that you accept it. But I think that this message is short and sweet. And I think this reminder of money will be coming to you. Like, if you're worried about money, it's like, if I do nothing, money will dry up. It's not true for this situation. It's not true. So that's all I have for you, Group 4. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for supporting me on Patreon, even with the limited content. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it, because I need this rest. Like, I'm taking some rest. Like, I'm doing a lot of work in other areas, but I'm taking a week off next week. I'm so excited, because I've been just, like, actually, I feel this group. Like, I feel this is my group, probably, even though I don't pick groups for myself. But I really, really, like, actually, it's so funny, because I've made a promise to myself. Next week, I'm doing nothing. Absolutely nothing. I am going to the beach, and I'm panning out, and I am not trying to be in contact with anyone. Like, I am not organizing anything. I am just by myself, by my lonesome. So maybe you can resonate with that. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. Thank you for sticking with me even when I'm not giving you consistent content. And I know, like, it's really, I really appreciate it, because I know I also give extra content when I can, and it's just very nice to have that, like, reciprocation of support when I can't give that much content. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Have the best day ever, and have some rest, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.